Good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, episode 33. Hope everyone's enjoying the evening so far. It's a bit of a cold one, a bit blustery and windy, just like our bubbles phase and die. But other than that, we're here. We're here, the three of us. And as always, I'm with my two esteemed co-hosts, Anthony and Glinius out. How are we, Glinius?
Glinius is doing great. Hot Fuzz has fucked off to Portugal because he's done with he's done with everything. He's done with this country. He's done with this club. He's done with the Premier League. He's done with football. He's done with sport. He's done with England. He's just done with everything, and he's especially done with Anthony Herbert. So you're still on a short. You're still on a shortening leash, though. Apparently, if the fuses get wearing thin, apparently, rumor has it. But Glinius out's doing well. We're thriving.
Super.
Got my Marylands down there. Got the Merseyside derby on here. Beto should have put Everton 1-0 up. And yeah. Seems to be going well so far.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Anthony, how are you, matey?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So I'm working like a bitch today. Came in, shower. I didn't even realise I had any shower. I shouted down to the missus. I went, "Have you got any shower gel?" She went, "Yeah, it's up there." So there, putting the shower gel on. Suddenly, do you know what? As you wash sort of down there, and I didn't realise it was fucking tea tree. Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
The sting is real.
Oh, hell, yes, it was Buzz. I tell you what, I was like a zombie all day, but that definitely fucking woke me up. I'll tell you, Jesus, I couldn't believe it.
Sting around the ringer, isn't it? That's what it
is. It was a sting followed by a twang followed by a whatever. It was like fucking hell. I couldn't believe it. I was there just literally. I had to have a shower, going. Oh.
She's shut up. Why are you singing the beat?
Yeah. Don't ever do that, folks. If you haven't done it, don't do it. Don't wash yourself with tea tree, especially down there. I suppose it hurt for me, but for a woman, I suppose it hurt even more for a woman. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the last time I did something like that with tea tree, it was. I think it was a good solid rest. Like I showered in the morning. The rest of the day, I was walking around like a penguin, just waddling everywhere. I just couldn't walk right because it just wouldn't feel comfortable.
John Wayne saddlebags. He's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, with a white dog.
Walk down the street like
what was it called?
Teacher.
I mean, that's just about getting what was it now? White horse liniment oil around the nether regions. That weren't good at all. Yeah, the stink. Not just a stink, but you could feel it afterwards.
Yeah, but deep heat's bad enough, and obviously when you play football and that, and obviously you go in the changing rooms and change. If you've had a shit game, blimey, you got deep heat in the football team I played for, and my brother played for as well. Literally, it was terrible. It's burning. You're sweating along your glands there, and you've gone red, and you're like, bloody hell.
Superb. Yeah, just remember them stories, that's for sure. As always, let's say hello to the great people that stick with us in the chat. Starting off with Arsenal Manic. Evening, Potter out, Amrin out, Arteta out, replace you with a freeze. That'd be very good. Thank you.
I'm down for that. I'll probably last I'll probably last the shortest amount of time because I'll tell everybody how I feel about them and they'll sack me within 5 minutes. So I won't get very far.
You do a jazz, basically. Yeah. 5 minutes in the job. Good evening, Miss Molina. Hope you will. We is. Yeah. Good evening, Matt. Hope you will. I think Tony could definitely manage West Ham Arsenal, Manic. Absolutely. Saying got to give Potter time, I think, though. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I know we're being a bit harsh, but at the same point, we've got to see what the next couple of windows, if he's going to be around that long, that may see where we get with that. But as Matt says, got to get the poison dwarf Sullivan out before we start cooking with gas, though. Absolutely. Arsenal saying, yeah, selling off you go. The fans have spoken. If only. That's very true. Good evening, Brendan. Hope you're keeping well. Good evening, GPU and chat. Some fan channels seem to be on a right meltdown. I see the clickbait titles and move on swiftly. No, I mean, at the end of the day, look, we're a bit more sympathetic here. We know, obviously, what has got to do with what he's got. And hopefully, as we just said, what he brings in the transfer window in time of time. I think we said this last week, hadn't we? Give him 3 windows, see where we stand.
Yeah, you've got to give him time. It's horrible. Would you? Well, not when I say you lot, but I mean with some fans. I've watched some shows and they're coming out with some horrible stuff towards Potter West Ham fans. And I think, well, look, he's just come in. It's not even his team. Just give him time to settle and change things around. Then we can. Then you lot can judge, can't you?
Exactly. I think that's the way you got to look at it like that. And probably this way. I mean, not being funny. We say about your manager when you think 5 seasons in, and he's only just about getting it right, if that. So,
no, I just want him gone. I just want. I as you know, I'm not Arteta. Don't want nothing against him personally. Okay, he's a prick, but I mean, he just hasn't won anything now. We're not going to win the Premier League, so it's come 21 years. Also, if we don't win anything next year, it'll be 22 years for next season. So that's the Premier League, by the way. So
good.
No.
Matt saying big up Tony Anthony about Fuzz and see what we did there, Matt. Yeah. Matt saying, but definitely Arteta and Emery out. Mr. Blobby could do a better job.
Oh, definitely.
Good evening, Howard. Good evening, all you beautiful people. Come on, you eyes. And Brendan saying, I will be in Bristol this weekend, Anthony. Best bar and restaurant. What's your pointers?
Best bar and restaurant. Oh, you'll have to go to the city centre within Bristol, and then you've got the watershed. Go down to the watershed, and there's a place. There is called
Old Trafford.
Yes, and don't bother having the chicken because you'll be ill. I mean, when you're in there, I'm pissing down with rain because the fucking roof leaks. So, but honestly, yeah, it's called the Brass House. They do nice, they do breakfast in there. They do brunch. They do even meal steaks and all that, and then the beer is quite good as well. And that's one of the cheapest places there. But honestly, the meals are fantastic. It's the Brass House.
Very good, very good. Matt Soggs. Matt saying, added some humour, Brendan. This place makes me feel so welcome more than any other West Ham channel, to be honest. And that's what we aim for. It's all about enjoying what you said in the chat, and obviously us kind of giving you hopefully a bit of laughter and banter along the way and that. And Matt, always appreciated being in this. Happy Wednesday evening. Yeah. Good evening, Budgie. Evening, chatty people. Just popped in to smash the likes. Not feeling so great, so I'll probably just be watching in my bed. Stomach bug got me. Sorry with that, mate. Yeah, I know that one. So no old school hammers tonight either. Unfortunately, hit the likes. Budgie, plenty of fluids.
Get well soon.
Rest up in bed and get well soon. Absolutely. Fast.
Have a nice one, Budgie. I mean, supporting West Ham's enough to give anybody the shits, let's be honest, for what you're doing this season. But big up to yourself, Budge.
I hope you all had a delightful day. It's been a nice, warm, sunny day. It's that bloody wind that's been the chilly wind. Chilly wind, that's for sure. Matt's saying Tony's putting some just for men milk or growing his bonds.
Oh, you just cut yourself there, son. There. Have a look.
I know, that's that shot my nails are.
Yeah.
Spot,
mate.
They're saying hope it feels better as well there. Brenda's saying, hi, Budgie. We'll miss old school Emmas for sure, but your health comes first. Absolutely. Hope you're on some medicinal amber nectar. That's the stuff. Quite right, Matt. Yeah. Get well soon, Budgie, you old tart. He's saying there. Matt saying, I've lost the love for a couple of other Hammers channels recently, Brendan, unfortunately, and that's sorry to hear that, mate. And no, you're always welcome here. Thanks, guys. I'm medicated. Thanks, mate. Good. It's like to hear. Steve Bell, good evening to yourself. Even Ipswich and Southampton are winning. Yeah, I've just seen the score lines. 1-0 respectively. Yeah, just says it all really. But we'll cover that in a minute once we catch up with the chat here. Yeah, that's good. Isn't it? Everyone's saying hello to Stephen, obviously making sure Budgie's okay. Good evening, usual. Hope you're keeping wheels and all. And also to Ian, good evening to you as well, mate. And also, Howard said, I could send you some medicines, Budgie. Sadly, I think we all feel a bit ill in that. How would you know who we are? And saw this character come in. I did the watch along last night, and I saw this guy come into the chat. Good evening to Fuzzy Willis.
Fuzzy Willis, yes. It's because Fuzzy had his diehard. He had his Bruce McLean's. Well, he calls it Forrest Gump. Okay, Forrest Gump Fest, but it could be any Bruce Willis or Forrest Gump. So, but yeah, it was a good show that Steve, what Fuzzy was on with he talking about the Forest and Man United. I actually did a job well done. Do you know what? I was actually modding on Fuzzy's show, and I'll tell you what, fuck me, was epic. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't keep up with the chat. So could not keep up with the chat at all.
Really?
Is that who's that? Is that you, Tom?
Yeah.
I think it's Colonel Sanders after he shaved his little moustache off. The KFC man, isn't it?
No, that's Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
The younger brother of Tom.
Yeah.
He's great in Tom Inc.
Because he dyes his eyebrows. He dyes the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Here's say we've all been there with a tea tree. Look at that. Here's say, look, we've all been there with a tea tree. Wakes you up in the morning. He's saying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Matt saying tea tree oil or stinging nettles. What's worse?
Stinging nettles. Stinging nettles is better, actually.
I think stinging nettles, because the tingling feeling goes away after a while.
It does, yeah.
Able to receive them, brother. Yeah, look, Budgie's agreed on that one as well. Hey, Steve. Brendan saying today, usual, Howard, I've been all bossa nova with Nouvelle Vogue, covering punk and new wave classics. Very nice. I was saying, Fuzzy Anthony, good evening. I thought I saw a bison bees on freeze, the title of Honda Accord in the car park. Honda Accord. I had one of those.
Yeah.
Lovely.
He's coming out with the old bangers, isn't he?
Honda Accord was a good car back in the day. He's
probably back in the day, yeah.
Good evening, Lee at the Arsenal Alliance. Evening, gents. Hope you're well, mate. And don't forget, give Lee a little like and subscribe as well to the Arsenal Alliance. And Steve saying hello to him as well. And of course, everyone gets a Tariff Togs. Brilliant. Evening, Daz. Everyone last night, the shit game. Yeah, I know, mate. It wasn't great.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I think you're a collection of late 70s classics in your bar now, what he's saying there. And Blue Nile. Are you sure, Budgie? Absolutely. I bet you will be. I was saying, I'll pop smoke DMT in an envelope with some instructions. You won't be worrying about your dicky tummy anymore.
Dicky tummy.
Superb. Good evening, Terence. Evening, gentlemen. I still got faith in Potter. Mind you, I still believe in the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, usually, yeah. Both winning at half time. Typical. Yeah, says it all, mate. Absolutely, Steve. And they're all saying hello to them. And Brendan saying, thanks, Anthony. Been dragged to see Pigs Times 7-2. Have you ever seen it? I may be spelling that wrong. Good evening, JB. Evening, all. And they're saying hello again. And Ian are saying, Potter wasn't my choice, but he started very well. Thought I might have been wrong about him. I now have concerns again, but we have to give him time. Don't be a second club like Watford. 14 years, don't be down that road.
Watford probably trying to sack managers like how Real Madrid do, but they've I don't think they've quite clocked that they're absolutely shit, whichever way they go.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, so there. Brendan saying, hope to see Colin tonight. Capital fellow, been missing a few days. Possibly showing Barbara the sights. Yeah, possibly right there, Brendan. Yeah, let's hope he's okay. We know he works hard in what he does.
Mm.
Well, we're out there. Usual saying, the chat got a bit freaky watching the comments earlier between one or two people. Usual, yeah. JB saying, in my opinion, we all need to calm down on Potter. Matty, I feel the same about other channels, just negative all the time, doing my barnetting. I'm listening to the missus and then all that. Yeah, we can all relate to that one. That's for sure. Anthony has to do it on the quiet though, because obviously, like, you know, she's upstairs and she listens in.
Oh, does she, Tom?
Yeah.
They all do, don't they? They all do. You can literally whisper, like, you know, or, you know, you feel like Auntie goes, I heard that. He's like, fucking hell, did you hear that? Yeah.
2 brick walls, iron plate, and still hear
you. Yeah.
I was saying, just take JB totally. We need to tranquillo. Let him experiment. Let him get a feel of the side, what he needs. Let's judge him next season. I do still want some fucking passion because, yeah, that was a thing. I mean, I don't know if you two saw the Wolves manager after the game finished, how he celebrated. That's how you see passion. That's how much it meant to him. I mean, like, you know, we don't see that often from managers these days. That's all managers, apart from your manager. And he, you know, that bloody, I think he was trying to take off last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to take off last time. Yeah. But
went from landing planes to flying with them.
Well, I tell you what, lads, the way how things are going, I don't know if we're going to bother getting a striker for next season. I reckon he's going to play fucking Marino up front because he's like, I think he's on 5 or. I mean, Saka's got 6 goals. You know, he's one of our top goal scorers. Saka's Marino's what, 1 behind him? I think he's got 5.
Yeah. And don't forget, even that goal, when you look at that was just by chance. It deflected again.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a goal at the end of the day, and you've got 3 points in the bag. But other than that,
keep talking like that, Anthony, about Marino being your striker, and you'll get a knock on your door. You'll open your door and you'll get socked by Andrea Berta. Like, don't say that shit. We're getting a real striker.
Yeah, but suddenly kind of listening to all the YouTube channels and listen to what the comments are. So why be West Ham and Reading and then mess with their right? Yeah, that was. I mean, that was bad. Reading now they've gone. Started with the beloved. Let's come together. Oh, what a song, Howard! What a song. All them naked women as he's singing away. People just say, nice start to the day, Howard.
Naked women, where? What?
You have to the song, the beloved. Let's come together.
Oh right, yeah.
You'll see.
Oh yeah.
Big smile today. All day, I was saying, usual saying, Tarkovsky nearly broke McAllister's leg in the derby and was only shown a yellow.
But it's a Liverpool player that's on the receiving end. Doesn't matter.
But it's that, again, it comes down to that double standards from these bloody referees, isn't it? Great track, yeah, the beloved.
I think there's something that one of the retired referees said. The one that the guy that did the Champions League final between Atletico and Real Madrid, and he just casually talks about, oh well, I had to give a penalty because if I didn't give a penalty, I mean, in the rule books, it's definitely not a penalty, and it's, you know, it goes down really easily. But if I don't give it, the Atletico fans will go absolutely crazy. They'll be all over the place. So then Griezmann takes a penalty, it hits the bar. And then he's apparently like, oh yeah, and under my breath I was celebrating that. I was like, yes, justice that he missed that. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how referees think. So they are, instead of cutting it straight down the middle and being impartial and seeing the game for what it is, and if one team's trying to play dirty, then of course they're going to get punished for playing dirty. Instead of all of that, no. We're finding out that referees' personalities and characters, the main character syndrome in referees in England is a very real thing now, guys. It is official. It is confirmed by former referees. there is a main character syndrome. They will make that shit all about themselves.
Totally agree on that.
Give them a big enough game, all bets are off.
What was the name of that referee, the black fella? What was his name?
I don't know.
Rennie? Something Rennie?
Can't remember.
No, that was someone that really had an ego about himself.
No, the only recent video I watched was a referee here. Don't give me wrong, I can't remember his name, but I know who he looks like. You remember obviously Mr. Tom from the Stoop. He looks a bit like him, and it was a Man United game, and he said, what was it? He was booking Roy Keane. He was telling him to calm down, and he went like that. He said, right, I've given you a yellow card. I've told you plenty of times. Here's a yellow card. He said, well, yeah, and apparently Roy Keane, this was his words. He said, fucking hell, ref. He said, you might as well give me a red card, send me off. He went, what? What are you on about? He said, no, I just give you a yellow. He said, nah, just send me off. He said, oh, he said, don't worry about it. He said, I'm on $2,000 a week back then, because it was it was quite a bit of money. And he turned around and went, oh, really? He went, yeah. He went, right, there you go. Then here's a red card. He said, fuck you, I ain't your $2,000 a week. He sent Roy Keane off.
Super. That's what you do. I don't know if you can see him. Uriah Rennie. That was him.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name now, but now I've seen a picture of him. Yeah, I do remember him.
Yeah, I think they got a shot of him because they did, the way his style was and that, and it was kind of sometimes all about him kind of thing.
Yeah.
He might have had a neon sign above his head. Good evening, Frog. Evening, Anna's not looking good, is it? Not at the moment, but we've got to stick with it, haven't we? He's really like to stay on. Yeah, I think they just mentioned that on the Sky Sports there. Steve saying, Frog, a disaster, mate, for fuck's sake. We've got to live with it. We've got to live with it. We've got no choice at the moment. Good evening, Daniel. Hope you will, mate. Evening all. Next window is not going to solve half the issues we're going through. We can't replace half the players we'd like, the manager or formation. And this is the truth, isn't it? I mean, with all three teams, when you think about it, we can't, all three teams can't overspend because of this FSR or whatever we want to call it, FFP, the whole shebang going on. We all three squads that we've got, respectfully, need to get rid of Deadwood, try and bring in something new, but then you've got to try and sell them players first of all before you can bring in new, like Daniel's saying there. And of course, our manager at the moment, I think he's a little bit lost, and the formation going on there as well. It was an interesting one yesterday. Like I said, he started off with Evan Ferguson because everyone was crying out for that, and that boy, unfortunately, like a headless chicken, he was running all over the place, couldn't get anything out of it, and finally he gave Lewis Gohermi a half.
Yeah,
but I thought the kid looked just a little bit scared, kind of thing, because he's actually given his first chance. But that was my opinion of it. Asking my next saying about Arsenal, Martinelli has regressed over the past 3 seasons. We need a left wing willing to run at the fullbacks.
There you go. Do you know what? I was about to say that. Arsenal manager is absolutely right. I think get rid of Trossard. He's obviously like what I said to him. He's refused to sign a new contract with Arsenal. Put him on the transfer list. Martinelli go on the transfer list. Jesus go on the transfer list. I know it ain't going to happen, but I would love Kai Havertz to go on the transfer list. Obviously, Partey and Jorginho, they're both leaving on a free. Are the best left back, Kieran Tierney, he's going to Celtic. He's already signed for them, ready for the new season. So and that's it. So I just thought that we need to get a couple of midfielders. I think we need about. I think we need, to be honest with you, I say 2, 4, 5, 6. I think we need about 7 or 8 players. And you know what? Even if we got a player in, I'm thinking, because he hasn't played well of late, dropping Odegaard, put him on the bench. He's been absolutely woeful the last lot of games. This is his worst season by far, Odegaard. I think this season, I think for him, it's been absolute shit.
Yeah,
I got to say it, and I don't know. The best season we had is like when I told you, Tone, was when we played 4-2-3-1, and he played in behind Jesus. He scored 15 goals that season. That was the best season we ever had out of him.
I'm just looking. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just looking back at the challenge here that Tarkovsky you just mentioned there. If Tarkovsky delayed that by say a split second, his foot would have connected with McAllister's leg and he would have snapped it in half.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. I mean, and he's only got a yellow on that.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah, usual. What a beautiful uplifting trait. That's obviously the beloved one, especially when you eat off your tits in a field in Hampshire. Fucking brilliant. We need a massive clear out. Folks, saying evening, geezers. Hope you're all good and enjoying the sun while it lasts. Yeah, let's try and enjoy it.
Budgie's doing that right now, isn't
he? Yeah. Steve saying, "Don't worry, Anthony. You can have Ings."
Oh, fuck that. I don't want Ings. Man United are looking for a striker. Let Man United have him, Ings. Or do you want some Granny Ings, Fuzz?
Nah, we need people who are, youthful and a bit of life, a bit of energy. We don't need more people who walk into Carrington and just drop dead. Tell.
How dare you say it, Fuzzy? I mean, he's had the earpiece done on that. He looks 18 now.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the your mama joke. I told Granny Dings to act his own age, and he just dropped dead.
Yeah. Well, Fuzzy's had the day off of work today, Tim. Look, he's been to the gym. He's still got his gym top on, and look, he's got his pecs like out.
Yeah,
he's bulking. He's bulking.
Yeah, the muscles aren't coming, so I'm having to use alternative means of bulking. What I do is I go into the gym and I wear shirts that have like six-pack prints rather than actually have a six-pack.
That's true. Villa's went up at Brighton. Thank you, Matt and Ian. You're right, Rennie. Yeah, I remember him. Bloody hell. Daz is asking, what's happening with Man U, Fuzz? I mean, I see that thing the other day, actually, Amarin kind of saying, no, Fernando's not, he's going nowhere, not going anywhere.
Wow. I mean, I think he's sort of looking at the situation like, well, this season, just look at his goals and assists and his impact for the team. And it's like, well, yeah, sure. Look at that. That's just one talking point. But look at the club as a whole. Look at all the talking points. The fact is that we've literally got a huge amount of players that when they have a good game, yeah, okay, they're fairly decent. When they have a bad game, they tend to be solely the reason why we lose a game. Bruno Fernandes might be top goals and assists in the team by a long shot, but he's also a very major culprit when it comes to players not performing or the team not performing. And you see whenever he gets the ball, an attack gets wasted. He maybe doesn't track the runner in midfield, or he doesn't make the challenge. He doesn't occupy the right spaces, or he doesn't make the right decision. And the execution can be quite cold at times. So not really giving much past, just nabbing stats. And it feels like that's kind of all he's got going for him at the moment is stats. But that's enough that's enough to satisfy most of the fan base. What we need are players that, that the team can rely on them, but they rely on them as a unit, as a team, as a collection of players that all do their own roles, fit the system, fit the mold of what Amarim's looking for. Because, I mean, let's be real, no manager in the world is going to get a consistent performance from most of the players in this team, because it doesn't matter what tactics they get given. You'll go from one game, them looking excellent, to the very next game. Oh, can you pass the ball 5 yards for me? What's that? 500 yards? Sure thing. Get fucked. And the ball will go into orbit, and it was like the guy's right next to you. Why are you sending that all the way to Japan? Like, where's that pass going? And we can say the same with Garnacho in the shooting department. Every opportunity to make the right choice in passing it, the obvious choice, and he will then shoot from 50 yards. And you're thinking, what an absolute piss take. What a waste. And this has been what these players have been doing for several different managers now. Several different managers. So there can't be a tactical issue. Just can't. And even if we were to play in the way that suits the players, because counter-attack FC and everything, we're sort of starting to do that. Except the players' bad traits are still very much at the forefront. So I think it's a case of get rid of the players with the worst and most unhealthiest traits, get them out fast before they infect anybody else that comes in, and then just replace the core of the team with just a fresh page, fresh script, fresh everything, and get them the players that Amarim's wanting to function in his system. I mean, Dorgu didn't have the bestest game, but several opportunities could have been a lot better if Garnacho just played ball with him.
Yeah.
It's just immaturity in the team, but I mean, people say Garnacho's young. He's young. Okay, yeah, sure, he's young, but he's been playing this team for over 100 games for several seasons now. And the mistakes he's making now, he was making 2-3 years ago.
Don't have it changed, yeah.
It doesn't look like he's learning. And sooner or later, that excuse has got to run out.
True. Because I think, when you look at it, to me, it seems like he wants to be the superstar and get a super goal. But
he wants to be
the
idol. He wants to be the idol because he had Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. You see how he likes to model himself on that a little bit. Tarts himself up, makes himself look like proper trendy and everything, and thinks he's a lot bigger than he is. And it's a personality trait that you don't want to see a young player have in your team if they are not absolutely slapping teams left, right, and centre. Like he's just a budget. It's just a poor man's. I might as well say poor man's Alanga, but Jesus,
yes.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You took that goal well.
I mean, when you figure, we see that just outside the 18-yard box, around the length of the pitch and that, and even then, he didn't strike it well. But
no.
Again,
No, I mean, Alanga actually showed everybody in Manchester United colours. Oh, hey guys, this is how you counter-attack. This is how you play. This is how you play direct. Straight to the point.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, he's been given a freedom at Forest, and he's starting to enjoy it. I mean, yesterday, you've got to say hats off for running the length of the pitch he did. I think they said, 85 seconds or something. He did it in 9 point something seconds. So, yeah. Good evening, Adama. Hope you will. Evening all in there. And Aaron saying, did you lose as well last night, Faz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we basically lost the final whistle. Essentially, went after 5 minutes. They got the goal, and that was it. Like people, I've seen some people say on social medias, "Look at the stats, guys! Are the most undeserved win in football history." I'm like, did you watch even 5 minutes of the game? No. Oh, there you go then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Watching on Excel, Microsoft Excel. There you go. That's how you watch football matches.
True. Good evening, viewers and pictures. Evening, lads. Science could do something useful for sport and clone Pierluigi Collina. Oh, you imagine that.
Could clone
Decent
referee.
referee.
That referee. Yeah, talk about that film, The Hills Have Eyes. But you know what I mean? He was a good. He's up there. I still think he's the best.
Totally agree on that. As Matt says here, look, great referee, Uncle Fester lookalike, worth for pictures, cleaner. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. And it definitely was one.
Yeah.
Frog saying, are we actually good enough for the Premier League? I'm beginning to wonder. Was a bit harsh, Frog. I think if you look at it, it's just a fact of Potter's come in and he's, all right, he's got to try and get a tune out of these players. Just like if you look at Amarin at Man United, got to get a tune out of these players. And if they're not your players, you don't all, as much as you've got a job to do, I don't think you push yourself as much because they're not your players. I don't know if you two agree on that. It just seems to me that I've got to work with what I've got. They're not mine. Let's see what they can do. I'll do that formation. Hopefully it'll work. So if it don't work.
But could you score a goal? I mean, I heard because you played Ferguson up front. I heard he had quite a few good chances to put the ball in the back of the net, but it just wasn't.
The one he should have put it in and that, and he should have, where his body angle was, take a gamble, use your left. But he tried to turn and do it on his right and didn't connect with the ball in that, and it wide. But other than that, I said to Fuzzy early on before he came in, this is his opportunity. We've got West Ham fans saying we want to see Ferguson start. He's done well in the in the friendlies. Blah blah. Got a goal for Ireland. He's got to have a start, hasn't he? And there's moments when you watched him and he was running around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
But that's why I saw it. But but that's the thing with managers.
We were linked to him as well, Ferguson.
That's right.
Then, I think they wanted something like 60 million, 65 mil.
They did. He was big money at the time.
Big money, and he was like, "Nah." So to be honest with you, I'm glad we didn't get him. To be honest with you, I'm glad we didn't get him at all. But that's the main thing. I mean, I was watching your your watch along last night, and do you know what? It took the piss last night. TNT. So I watched the Forest and Man United game. Obviously, the Premier League's back. Arsenal wasn't live. I couldn't watch the game, so I didn't see it. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to find the game. So I thought, oh, right, maybe it's on Sky Sports main event. Yeah. Bristol Rovers versus Birmingham City. I thought, are you taking the fucking piss? The Premier League's back. I pay for fucking Sky, and they put that fucking shit on.
Yeah.
I thought, this is taking the piss.
They all do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it for the Bristol lad down there. He'll be all right. He'll like watching that game. Just do it for him.
Fucking Rovers. Oh, my God.
His favourite club.
Arsenal is saying we sell deadwood, but we bring in deadwood as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. We do bring in deadwood. I mean, what's the fucking point? And the deadwood that we bring in, we pay X amount of £1 million for. Then when it's time to fucking sell them, we can't make money on them. We're always making a loss.
You should change how you do it. Just go to Nottingham Forest and just bring in an alive wood.
Yeah, that's the job.
Yeah, Chris Wood. He's actually alive. He'll help you.
I mean, look at this fucking look at how I used to rip the piss out of Chris Wood, saying, "Oh, he's after Man United. He's going to Man United. CW7." I was calling him. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And fucking hell, look at him this season. What's he got now? Was it 17 goals or something?
Yeah. I mean, and you got to commend what Nuno Espirito's done at Forest because you look at last season, they definitely died, but what he's got them doing now, and funny enough, if you think about it, for Arsenal's point of view, for the remainder of their games, they've got to make sure they win every single one because if they don't, I mean, you already said it, Anthony, they will go second.
I reckon Forest will. I mean, you look at the run what Forest got, and you look at compared to the run what Arsenal's got. I'm sorry, but I'd take Forest's run all day long. And the way they're playing, honestly, I would. I could see Forest getting clinching second spot. I can.
And it wouldn't surprise me. The season they're having and that. And I think it'd be justifying as well. And I've just seen Ipswich are 2-0 up as well now against Bournemouth. 2-1 there, is it?
Yeah, Bournemouth.
Steve Bill saying, obviously, always remember Graham Poll interview saying, if you had to referee an Arsenal Man United game differently to a Stoke Burnley game, no comparison, man. I said, he was top-notch, like the limelight, no doubt, but most of his big decisions were correct. Very true. 1-1 now, thank you, usual. I was saying we need to rebuild the rebuild, but this manager won't bring more than 3 players, in my opinion.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I mean, we got this new. Well, he's taking over Edu now, hasn't he? Berta. So obviously, with him coming in, hopefully he can, bring some players. I think his aim is going to have. I think he'll have more of the pulling power than what Mikel Arteta has. He's the guy, Berta. He's the guy that attract better players, and if he can promise them something, yeah. But obviously, Mikel Arteta, he's got to play them the way they need to play, not the way how he wants. I know the manager wants them to play how he wants them to play, but sometimes when you're on players on the pitch, you watch them and you've got managers, you see it, they're shouting, they're calling out, and it's like pass it, pass it, pass it, and they carry on running and they score a goal, and then you hear the manager go, all right, fuck it, then pass it, right? And then I've seen it on documentaries and stuff like that. So obviously you've got to let the players do sort of not what they want, but if they're confident enough, let them do it. Because at the end of the day, if you destroy a confidence out of a player, it's going to take ages to get it back, and he's just going to flop from one game to the next. So
that's what, I don't know if you read Malcolm Allison, because that was his way he did team tactics. So basically, you're going at half time, and he'll play good cop, bad cop. So for the average player, you're doing well, son. Keep doing it. You give me more if you can yet. So he feels empowered. Like the bosses recognise me. The good players in there, you're not working hard enough. I need to see more out of you in that. So they get pissed off and they try and work hard. So you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But, I mean, going back on Berta and that, it's no use him selling the dream when Arteta send him down the wrong river. Basically, that's what you've got to be careful about.
Yeah,
I think we've already alluded to this one. Odegaard's been found out this season.
He has been. He ain't much caught. No, I don't. Listen, Tim. If Odegaard was that good, right? Number one, would Real Madrid got rid of him? Or
That's
number two, would he have cost more than 35 million? There you go. And 35 million from a player from Real Madrid, that does prove to show you ain't much cop.
No.
Honestly,
I've said it to Arsenal fans, and also when they said about him, this and the other and that, I said, I'll just say, I'm sorry, but for me, Odegaard's bang average. And I go back to that point you're saying there. If you was, I know if you Madrid, you're going to have a plethora of players, but if you're that good and you're loaned out X amount of times and you're supposed to be that good, then the teams that loaned you out, surely they would be interested in buying you.
Yeah.
But the fact you paid that much money for him in the first place, and it's all that flicks and tricks he does all the time. That's what pisses me off more than anything else with him.
Oh,
the hair flicks.
The hair flicks. He's going like that.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ. He puts his. Do you know what? He puts his hands through his hair. He does his flick. He does more flicks in a game than what he does fucking passing. It pisses me off.
I'm sure he's sponsored by Red Bull, mate, because I know when he played us and that, the amount of times I see him flapping his arms, Jesus.
Yeah.
They were saying Barca's 1-0 up against Atletico.
Liverpool's 1-up
already. Evening, Miss Melina again, and Frog saying, "Sister, see you on your all right."
She's got years, isn't she? Or you're in the chat. That's a little nickname for me. We ears.
Bring Jesus to West Ham and take Souček. Tenant saying, got to disagree with you about Ferguson, Tony. What's the use of being a forward if you're getting no service? He was running around reminding people he was there. Woeful midfield yesterday. The midfield was woeful. I agree on that. But even then, as a forward, yes, I agree. If you're not getting any service, then you're going to come in. We don't want to go Harry Kane style and come near enough between become a CDM. But at the same point, if you're going to run around, do it with purpose. That's my point, Terry. You want to make sure he's doing it with purpose. And I feel sometimes he wasn't doing that. Matt's saying Granny Dinger's getting more air from Rooney's air therapy company. Shares in it. Jota, good goal by him as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Does if it wasn't for the bottom three and being so bad, we'd be in the bottom three. I mean, that was the interesting, when you think when Loppy was there, considering how he was, the games we did win, and that kept us in a very, very.
So, how many points you got? How many points you got in the league?
Let's have a quick butchers, mate. Bear with me.
34.
Yeah, there's not much between us and Wall. I mean, that game they won last night is
34.
Yeah,
34. That's all you need. You survived. You've already survived. You're not going down because I called it, and I will call it again. This season is going to be the lowest season on points.
Absolutely, mate. I agree with that.
On the bottom three. You think of it, you've got Leicester and Ipswich. They were both on, is it 17? But obviously, if Ipswich is winning, they'll be on 20, I think.
Yeah. They'd need another 14 points. You'd need Tottenham, yourselves, and Everton to just lose every single game. And for Ipswich, at the very least, and Wolves can still overtake, so they're only 5 points behind. But Ipswich would need another 14 points from 8 games.
There you go.
Just to overtake West Ham.
Yeah. So there you go. So it is going to be. You've already survived, Ting. You're not going down.
I don't think we're going down. So I don't. I know there's been other West Ham channels that have alluded to this, but the way I see it, I mean, I can't see it happening unless, of course, we lose by 15 nils
to that as well. Don't know who those weird channels are.
Oh yeah,
we know.
Yesterday, bloody hell, I jumped in the chat and what went past me that quickly with a fucking tumbleweed. I thought, Jesus, there's not going on with this.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, Bob, I'm joking, mate.
You tumbleweed is my best friend, Anthony. He's my only friend.
Sitting next to him. VAR Villa still 1-0 up. Ipswich 2-0, as we said there. Diabolic. Oh, absolutely. Sally, Miss Molina. Evening, Ray. Up in well. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to yourself as well, Ray. Arsenal mate saying, Fuzzy, have you come across any Karens at your gym?
I am the Karen.
Steve Bill saying Ipswich are coming to us. Last game of the season, Ipswich away. Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
Yeah.
Brenda saying if Southampton end the game with a win, then they'll have more points than that Derby side a few years ago. Wow. Players be on the beach by then, Steve. Yeah, I think they will. They showed that last night, Matt. I think most of our players were on the beach already. Shocking. And they're saying hello, Miss Molina as well, which is very nice. Good to see him. Good evening, Colin. Good evening, Tony, Fuzzy, Anthony, you wonderful gentlemen. Nice to join you tonight. Colin, good to see you as well, mate. Colin. Hope everything's well in that. We know it's been quiet on your side. Hope everything's well, and hopefully Barbara's good as well. And good to see you in here, my friend.
Yeah. It was only last week. I think he actually put the comments. I think his pecker was up, wasn't
it? Brendan saying, here he is. Hello, Colin. How are you? Yeah. Howard saying, anyone seen Happy? She's not been on for a few. No, not at all. That's a point, Howard. Yeah, I know she was busy because I think the last couple of times she's come in really, really late. So unless she's got a new work thing going on, I don't know. But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, obviously, hopefully Steve Cox is doing all right because we haven't seen him for a while either. I know we know, as we know, he is ill. So let's hope we can see him. Good evening to all you wonderful people in the chat. Always a pleasure joining you as always. He's saying there. Frog saying like all those. Frog saying happy Emirate. I've been wondering the same. Not seen him for a while now. I mean, if Budgie's still in the chat, maybe can let us know what's going on there. Yeah, Happy's been a bit reclusive lately. Hope Mama Flossie's okay too. Yeah, Matt, she's been okay. I think it's just a case of taking a bit of time out, which you can understand at this time. Bournemouth grabs one back there, for you saying. Colin Brendan, okay, a bit tired, mate. Just had a 3 hour bit of fun, if you know what I mean. Colin's the legend. Absolute legend.
Letty, yeah. Yeah, when you have a wash after, Colin, make sure it's not fucking tea tree. I'll tell you that. Just, I mean,
He might need that. They put the heat back there, I think, like, yeah. Brentford's equalised. Britta saying, how well played, Colin. Absolutely, totally agree on that. Frog saying other managers haven't had their players and simply getting them into some sort of state. This is, I mean, again, it's one of those, isn't it? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see where we stand with him. And good evening, Charles. I wouldn't mind getting relegated. Well, that's probably one way we're getting rid of Sullivan if we do that, at least. Matt saying, fuck, Craig has to start versus Bournemouth or maybe Granny Dings. I think fuck, Craig. Hey?
On that last one, that was Julian Dick. Was that Julian Dick?
Yeah, Dixie. Yeah, that is. Yeah, Dix. Yeah,
I think it was shit. Well, you know the story, Tim, don't you?
We do indeed, mate. Yeah. Colin, can we put in the midfield?
Yeah.
Tries to add enough of the EPL. Yeah, it's not been exactly great as we were saying. Frog saying, even when Potter has got one of his players on board, he doesn't fucking play. This is the other thing. I mean, look, it's good to see Gil Hermy start. I knew he was going to be hooked off at half time. He was one of the first ones you can tell was going to go. And they were saying like in there. Tammy Abrahams, yeah, AC 1-0 up.
Tammy Abraham.
Does agree with that as well.
Someone like that. No, someone like that would suit West Ham, or do you know what I mean?
It was in the mix. Apparently, one of the players we're looking at, but I think it was something to do with his knee, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had an injury, I think, and it, obviously it affected his game a bit. But obviously, it's like what Aaron's dad said. If you're getting the assist as well, and you can get on the end of it, you can score the goals. The ball's in the back of the net. I mean, I can remember watching Tammy Abraham when he was on loan at my team at Bristol City. Bloody hell, that guy. I think he scored about 25 goals, maybe 30 goals in the Championship for us. Honestly, that guy was on fire because he was obviously on loan from Chelsea then.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get into the Chelsea team because obviously with the like the Kaku and all that sort of players playing up front for them. But yeah, he's a good one. I think it was Jose Mourinho that got him, that bought him.
Roma, yeah.
Was it Roma?
Yeah, Roma. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I mean, as you know, like you, we're requiring it for a forward. Obviously, Antonio is looking to get back before the end of the season. That'd be interesting to see if that will happen as well. But yeah, wouldn't have been a bad shout. Take a gamble. Yeah. I mean, not being funny, we did it with Demba Ba.
Yes.
Banged all them goals in that, and then before you know it, Chelsea snapped him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howard saying Interson, Carlos 1, AD Gresham, Neil. Frogs mentioned if relegation is what it takes for our squad to take their fingers out of their sphincters and start earning their wages, I don't see the problem. Nothing else has worked for the last 3 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really want to go down. I don't know. He's a West Ham guy, is he?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why. I get the comment, but in all fairness, your team you support, no, you don't. You don't want to go down. You don't want to. You've already survived. It's just basically it's down to Potter, and it ain't just down to Potter. It's down to your ludicrous fucking owner as well, Sullivan. So if Potter's got some say, which I think he should have some say in the players are coming in, all managers, I think they should, right? The owners, you leave the business side to them, leave the football side to the managers.
Yeah.
But it goes, I want this player, I want that player. But how do you know that player is going to gel and play well in your team, and also with the help under the manager? Do you know what I mean? If the communication's not there, and if it's not there on the pitch performing,
it's the gamble. That's the gamble in itself. Is that part? Yeah, I totally agree on that. I mean, I think you hope the manager, the chairman's going to back the manager, or on this day and age, head coach. And as you said, they should keep an eye on the business side of things rather than get involved in the football things, because, as we know, with a lot of them, they ain't got a clue.
No.
Kind of saying, Brendan usual. I'll show you a saucy picture of her, but she is very demanding. Okay. That's very good. Yeah, no problem. Fair enough. Trust, I was thinking more about entertainment, but the ground cripples us if we did go down. Yeah, and that's the other problem as well. Then you've got to fill it.
Yeah.
Howard, so the relegation will sort the wheat from the chaff where the fan base is concerned. I've done plenty in my time. Yeah. Look, I mean, we're open. We know we're going to be safe. It's what we do.
Yeah, you're safe. You're definitely safe.
It's the window, mate. It's what we do in the window. And if they can't do it, then serious questions got to be started being asked.
Well, it's like obviously I talked. I mean, look at Fuzz's team, Man United. I mean, the points that they're on, they're already safe, Man United. You know, and it depends what players he wants. Now, I know Ratcliffe or whatever his name is. He's obviously is it him that's got the buying power, Fuzz? But would your manager, would he communicate with him and say, well, look, these are. I've made a list of say 5 players, and can we bring them in or what?
I don't think he has buying power. He decides how much, like budgeting. I think him, Barada, and Wilcox will probably decide what the budget allowance will be. So, yeah, I think the buying decision as to like who goes and actually gets the deals done, I actually think it's probably more so Wilcox, because Wilcox and then Vivell as well. I think between the two of them, they'll probably sort through the players that they'll buy and sort out who it is they want to sell. But I think in terms of the market, what sort of players we target will come from the top. They'll say, oh, well, we don't want you shopping in this market because that's premium prices and, you know, really high quality is going to be really, really expensive. We want you to shop in this market. Players that are just potential, they're not great yet, but we'll make them great. But here's the catch. Only get players that can have a viable sell-on market value.
Yeah.
Just farm cash from young players. And that's kind of the way that we're slowly being sunk into being run. It's the same thing with Chelsea. Also, I see some people say, "Oh my God, Chelsea, they're spending. Oh, they spend because their owners want to be successful." I'm sorry, they don't. They don't look for success as the measure of success, right? They don't look at winning trophies, and think, yeah, this is how we create our legacy. They just want to turn profits, bring as much money in as possible by, you know, the expenses minimal, the income maximized. And Man United are going to be trying to do the same, but we're so far down the shitter. You know, we've got a squad of overpriced, overpaid knob jockeys for players. And
down the shitter, knob jockeys. That's 2. What's the third one?
I don't know. Might be a bit too. Yeah, a bit too offensive, the third term, so I shan't go there. But yeah,
fill in the gaps, people in the chat. Fill in the gaps.
Yeah, read between the lines. But
fill in the gaps. I'm sorry if you heard that, folks. Tim had a notification. It came up: breaking news. West Ham are shit. Yeah, so
he's had 2 of those notifications. It's just he
just
gets a reminder.
Yeah,
reminded.
He set reminders. That's what he does. Yeah,
exactly.
The next one goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning.
West Ham reminder. It is 9:33, and it is officially still West Ham are still shit.
Still shit after all this time. Big up to usual suspect filling this in with the scores here. Newcastle now 2-1 up, and Everton have got a chance in the corner here at the moment, but I don't think it's happened. Troj Falkirk was a positive, which was on another level at the Ferguson. Totally agree on that. When he came on, there's a bit more purpose. Troj agree on the entertainment style. Read the ground, rather share with Leighton or something personally. Like I said, as long as we could have bought the ground in the first place, which happened. You've got to think Barry Earn and Mr. Levy. Put them into that. That's saying, could I have a picture, Colin?
Colin, can we all have a picture? Yeah, just
2-0 to Villa, Emery. Good evening, Michael Chelsea. Good evening, Rongans. And big up all you guys in the chat. London is blue, he's saying.
Get fucked, he's red. Big up, Michael.
Emery, the real deal, Champions League and Premier League. Says it. Yep. Not going down this season. This is true, Frog. This season we're not, that's for sure. Villa turning up, thank you very much. Will we get to 40 points though, Frog? That's the understatement, I'd say there, Brendan. That's the telling point. Michael Chelsea saying, just come from my short video for the preview of the Chelsea versus Tottenham game. So I thought I'd pop in. Good to see you, Michael, anyway.
Yeah, Michael. Thanks for popping in, mate.
Colin saying, guys, I'm going to show you pics of 3 ladies, and you know what I mean, and they're all American.
If you had to guess what ladies do you reckon it will be?
Oh, jeez. Question in
I
the
reckon
chat.
Colin's like, he'll put something like, what's her name? Kelly LeBrock in it. I reckon he'll put Kelly LeBrock. Yeah, I reckon he'll put her in there.
Probably that. Pamela Anderson? She'll probably go in there and all.
Yeah.
And what was the other one they did about? Carmen Electra, that was her name. One and all.
Carmen Electra. Yasmin Brief, she was quite tiny, wasn't she? You know, in the Baywatch.
Well, my age group and younger, you have to be careful because you might run into loads of traps.
That's true.
There's a trap on every corner.
That's true. Good evening to Jasmine Drew. Happy Emirate, busy on OnlyFans, apparently.
I don't believe it. Big up, Jasmine Drew, you old bastard. Yeah.
But your name was Stephen.
Frog saying, "Good knows. I just think expecting the summer window to magically sort everything out isn't much of a plan for next season." True, very true. Plan, shall we say, for next season, for sure. Frog, a big turnover is needed, but yeah, it comes down to that. They're saying Tommy was going on one with Miss Smith. Wow, don't need all that. That's for sure. Ahoy, Michael, you Chelsea supporting deviant. British saying, I like Michael Chelsea's use of silver spoons in his chat.
Yeah. Well, you've seen that, Fuzz? Have you seen that video of that? Well, I see the woman on there, and it was a woman on there, and her boyfriend. They were in a club, and as they came out the club and that, he buggered off, and she couldn't find him. So they was filming her, and she goes, "Yeah, my boyfriend Stephen. Oh, I don't know where he is." She's sort of really upset, crying. She goes, "I don't know where he is and what he's doing. Oh, I don't know." And then suddenly she hears a noise. She turns around and she goes, "Stephen, you lied!" And it's like, "What the
fuck?" Suddenly on a kill mode.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Good evening, Damien. Hope you're well. Potter needs to grow a backbone. Yeah, I think he was a little bit weak last night. Definitely agree on that. I was saying you're wrong in the head, Mickey, but we love you. It's true. People moan about the board all the time, but fact is they've done 150 last summer. This is true, Damien. Yeah, totally agree on that. They have supported the managers. Trust saying more fact. Championship is like how football used to be. Competition is much more fiercer in that. I mean, what's it at the moment? Sheffield United, Leeds, and who's the other one that's near them? Is it Burnley? Burnley in there, third or fourth?
Yeah. You've got Sheffield United top, Leeds is second, Burnley is third. Oh, blimey! I know Coventry is fifth. Bristol City is seventh. They've just they're just at the playoffs, or Bristol City is seventh or eighth. But if they win a game, and like Coventry loses and that. But trouble is though, between 5th team and you got say 12, the points are so. Do you know what I mean? So
but
it's a very
I think that's what you're saying. That's how it used to be. Like you had the kind of the top 4 or 5. You had that kind of same points band.
Yeah.
And there's that big drop, wasn't there? And then you sort of go a big drop
Yeah,
further
that's
down
right.
the table as well. What was that? Who fired?
And what makes it good? There's no VAR.
Yes. Well, not yet. Not
No.
yet. Yeah, not watching the game in the crowds. Frog say I don't want the team to go down, but we've had 3 seasons with this shit merry-go-round, and we care, and we basically barely survive.
I know, but the trouble is, though, teams that are doing shit. I mean, sometimes you got to do shit to get better, to improve your squad, because you know where your weaknesses are. You try and get out those weaknesses and put in something better. So, listen, give him time. Honestly, give him time. It's not like West Ham's going to go out next season and win the fucking Premier League like what we should be doing.
Clip it
There's
now.
no offence against that West Ham mind for doing that.
Yeah. So clip it now.
Yeah.
It's 9:39. Anthony says, not going to win the Premier League next season. West Ham win the Premier League. We know that's not going to happen.
No, just don't clip it.
Usual saying 8-15 for Chelsea, 18-5 for the Spuds. The draw 17-5. Bloody hell, that's weird odds. Mind you, it just shows you how bad the game could be. Then really. Michael Chelsea saying, I'm hoping my silver spoons will not be needed tomorrow. Yeah, and as Anthony just said there, Trojan, you said it before that, no VAR in there, so it's a nice, easy flow. Ian, I was saying that a relegation, in my opinion, would be a disaster for us in that stadium. It would be less than half full. No thanks. Also, I don't think it would make Sully sell up, as he wouldn't get anything like the money he wants. Yeah, true. Yeah. There is that in it. You're not a kind of multi-millionaire for nothing.
As well, you'd have to lower your prices to obviously put bums on seats. Basically, that's what you'll have to do. I mean, the average price now. I mean, not being funny. I mean, to go and watch Bristol City for an adult, you walk in, it's 35 quid to go and watch Bristol City.
Really?
And, yeah, it's £35 to go and watch Bristol City. Sometimes it's 40, depending on what games they're playing as well. If they're like high up, it's 40 quid. But then when you compare that price. Do you know what Premier League is cheaper to go and watch Bristol City? Believe it or not, it's Aston Villa. Aston Villa's got one of the cheapest prices going in at Villa Park.
Well, there you go. That says it all then, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Man United, well, the torturous shit they put on, Sergio Mbo Ratcliffe, Rat Dancer, wants to put ticket prices up even more. Because they think, oh, that's fair. This is fair. This is fair. Okay.
Yeah, but I can stand that. I can understand that first because 10% goes to Man United and 90% of that goes towards the fucking roof. So you know,
just fair.
I think they've given up on the roof, mate. They've given up on funding that roof.
Suddenly supplying swimming pools instead of doing that game.
Yeah.
Well, mate, 90% of it probably goes to Glazers anyways.
Guarantee though. I mean, like I said to you, what they did back in the day when they bought the club, and the fact that they put the debt back on the club because they know the club would pay for itself. That's business sense in that respect. But it don't kind of.
No.
The downside of it is where you are now, and
it's just it says everything you need to know that the method they use to actually get a hold of a football club or an asset is now illegal. It is legally prohibited that somebody can buy a club or buy an asset leveraged on debt and then use the club that asset's fundings to pay off that debt.
I think it's because once they see someone that can do that, they'll close the loophole. I mean, many years ago there was a story, and true story. This is actually when Sky first started coming out in the UK. And some bloke got the old TV licensing people knocking on the door. You got a TV? Yeah, I got a TV in there. So are you watching it? Yeah, I am watching it. Have you got a license? No, I haven't got a license. Well, you need to pay for one. No, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to pay for one at all. So he got taken to court. And because he turned around and he said he's watching TV through Sky and he's not watching terrestrial channels, he won the case.
Yeah, because it's only BBC you pay it for, isn't it? It's there. That I know people that they're not paying. They've got a telly. They're not paying TV license,
Yeah,
but they haven't got. They haven't got BBC.
that's
So
the
they
thing.
said, well, if I haven't got BBC, I don't need to pay for one.
But this is the problem. If you're streaming, you do. But what this guy
Yeah.
did, because he won the case, lo and behold, before you know it, loophole closed, and anyone else now, you get done for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, going back to Damon's comment there. We're fortunate the teams getting promoted are so far away from the level required. From a non-West Ham perspective, it's sad. I think we've already got on with this as well, haven't we? You know, the 3 clubs that have come up, they've not exactly spent the big bucks, and because of that, they're going back down. And when you think about the 3 of them, Ipswich, everyone was hoping would stay up because they are run by or owned by millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, so are Leicester, aren't they? Really, if you think of it, Leicester are as well. So I don't know why. I mean, I didn't really get when Cooper was in charge there, the players that he got in there, sort of thing. You're like, well, why are you buying him? Like, you know, I mean, one of them coming from Crystal Palace. I forget his bloody name now, and you know, he's 33 or 34. You're thinking, why are you buying players like that? Are you better off buying players that's like in their peak, like 27, you know, and that sort of thing, and going in, spending that little bit more on players? But I mean, I feel sorry. I do feel sorry for Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, I was shocked that he actually went to manage Leicester, to be honest with you, because if you remember correctly, when Ten Hag got sacked and he took over as interim manager, he actually won Man United. I think, was he in charge of 4 games, and he won them 3 out of 4 games, something like that. Van Nistelrooy. So, do you know what I mean? So he did have a pretty good spell at Manchester United. More so, but then again, you look at Ten Hag's winning record. He's since when he walked in that job at day 1 to the day he got sacked, his win ratio was something like 53%, 54%. Look at this manager now. He's making Ten Hag's win ratio look pretty good.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah.
True.
Is that the manager's fault there?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Well, no matter what happens in the world of football, the buck always stops with the manager. It's like we're working for your company. Anything that goes wrong is your manager gets the bollocking, and then the bollocking gets sent down from the manager to his co-workers, and vice versa. So, in all fairness, it might not be 100% the manager, but unfortunately, he's at that level where he's got to accept the responsibility, as in any other job.
But the difference being is, when you think about it, the manager takes the brunt of it and that, but you don't hear any repercussions on players. Unless, of course, it's like, you know, they've been fined a week's wage. But when you look at things like that, performance-based, you know, we all, you know, when you think all of us that work are mainly works on a performance-based thing. If you're not doing that, then all of a sudden you're going to be pulled in on a performance, or you're going to be over at HR and that, and before you know it, you could be out the door. But you don't see it happening with players.
I just think, regardless of managers and win rates, I think Ten Hag, we can argue perhaps a sacking could be justified in the way that he was handling the situation. But I think the fact that, you know, Amarim's walked into such a colossal shit show, and you know he's dealing with a shoestring budget. He's just been told, yeah, by the way, your next 5 to 10 years is not going to be much different from what it is now. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic, great. I might as well just not give a fuck then. Let's get the sack. Let's not try, because me as a manager, I care about winning trophies. I care about, you know, doing, you know, special things. But at Manchester United, my bosses tell me, oh, well, everybody else around you is going to have all of the luxuries, all of the players, all of your targets, all the players you want will be going to all of your rivals. The players we will give you are plans D, E, F, and G. Forget A, B, C. Forget all of those. We're just going to give you all the players that you probably wouldn't want. They'll profile wise, they'll sort of fit the bill, but there won't be the names that you'll bring to us. They won't be the names you put forward, but we'll sign them because they're cheap and because we think you have got what it takes to grow their value. We care not about whether you can win Man United a Premier League title. We care if we can buy you a player cheap and then you can develop him for us to then sell out of your team for profit. There's no measure of success there. There's no care for success there. They don't give a toss. And
I didn't think your players liked him, Buzz. I didn't think your players respects this manager. And I'm not being funny. You look at this in consideration. You know, obviously, I'm telling the truth when I'm saying this. Players that you've got there has won 2 trophies under Ten Hag, Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, right? And you mentioned about winning trophies. That team, right? Because he hasn't really bought anybody into Cameron. That team is won trophies.
Dorgu and Heaven. Funnily enough, Dorgu and Heaven are 2 players that are some of the better performers in that team.
Yeah. But do you know what I'm saying? They've won trophies. I mean, look at the players that we've got and we've bought and how much Mikel Arteta spent. And yeah, he's won a trophy in FA Cup, but that wasn't what he didn't buy one of those players. That's like in all fairness now, I tell you what, that's like Slot. He's winning the Premier. He's going to win the Premier League under Klopp's team, not his.
Yep.
So, and then, do you know what I'm saying? Then we've given Mikel Arteta £850 million, spent all this money, and what's he won in his own team? He hasn't won anything.
He hasn't nothing. Yeah, exactly.
So, but do you know what I'm trying to say, Tone? Like, I'm not having to go at Fuzz, but your team has won trophies in the last few seasons. You know, you've won 2 trophies, and to be honest with you, I think for the standard of what he's brought in and the standard of what your players are playing, you've won those 2 trophies. I feel now these players don't respect your manager. Seriously, I really don't think they do.
No, it's a culture problem then. Time to attack the players.
Problem is, though, the player power is too powerful these days, though, Fuzzy. You see that at Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are a classic example of that.
Yeah,
You've got to think they got rid of Mourinho, they got rid of Conte, Sarri, Tuchel.
Yeah.
And there's all the players that did that.
Oh, well, then it's back after Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers then. Kick those guys out of the football club. Because it all the fish rots from the head.
Absolutely, mate.
I
Absolutely.
think you do. So I think you've got too many up in the board anyway. Everybody's got a slice of their fingers in the pie, the saying is. But really, what it should be the owners, the director, and the manager. You shouldn't have so many people in the middle. Personally, you shouldn't have anybody in the middle. You should have the manager going straight to the director, the owner of the football. So they say, right, I need this player. They're going to cost this much. Can we sign them? Personally, that's how I think it should be.
That's how it used to be. And then someone decided, let's do a director of football. That'd be a great idea. Because that way the manager can just manage a team and we can do this kind of thing. And I'm sure them 2 are going to be harmonious and get what they want kind of thing. And we see the interest on that, how it goes.
And that's why they're called head coaches and not managers, isn't it?
Exactly that. I mean, I'm just going to go on these couple of comments because we'll catch up. We're losing the chat a little bit. But, I mean, this is one I agree with Trudge. Harder for promoted teams now, it seems, than it used to be. You've got to think. Teams used to get the money, big money come up, invested fairly well, managed to stay up for some of them. But classic one for me last season is Luton. You think got promoted, and now look at them. They're going to be relegated from the Championship.
Yeah,
that's where it goes. Yeah, and also seeding in the cups was a disgrace as well. I totally agree on that as well, Brendan. Damon saying Ipswich generally made a good go of it in the summer, but are still falling way short I mean, and this is the problem. I mean, like, McKenna should have been snapped up by another club, managed to stay at Ipswich. Who knew what that could happen from that point?
He was at Man United, wasn't he? But McKenna when he first.
Yeah, absolutely, he was. Yeah.
Coaching staff with the PE teacher, which, by the way, the PE teacher, Galatasaray in their league were unbeaten this season. Unbeaten. And they go up against Ollie's Besiktas and then lose.
Yeah, this is the thing, yeah. From an perspective, it's sad. Yeah, I totally agree on that as well, Damien. Frog saying the squad had better luck back when we because it was one of the bottom three clubs and a better season Wolves overtook us, we would be going down. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're just lucky. I think in certain the games that Lopetegui did win has managed to keep us where we are. But I think who knows if it was the other way around, would Potter get us out of that danger? Yeah. True, the league table doesn't lie. Absolutely usual.
Yeah.
Usual saying fuzzy. Rashford scored again this evening.
No, good for him.
So,
bring the best out of him because I think, Emery's not the best, but he's bringing something out of him. Listen, he's only on loan. If he goes back to you, can you see him going straight back into the team, or do you reckon Villa allow first sort of like dabs on him and say, look, we'll
Seven cut ties, completely cut ties. Same thing with Sancho. Even if Sancho was doing bits at Chelsea, I'd still say nope, not interested. Not interested. The only player that at all has got any skin in staying at United past their loan deal is Anthony. But even that, it's like, what is he going to give us that much? Is that really the type of player that Abraham's looking for in his team? I don't think so. So probably in that regard, they'll probably let go of Anthony in that case. But Rashford, I think for him, it was the change of scenery that he needed.
Absolutely, I agree on that.
Because he looked so disinterested and then was hiding behind his PR team's statements, trying to excuse his poor attitude and poor behaviour. And, it's just like there's only so many times you can get your writers to apologise for you before, the jig is up. So, he has to go to Aston Villa and revitalise his career. And from there, when his loan deal expires, either, play hard enough to secure that contract on the permanent or play well enough to secure interest from other clubs around Europe.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy Sheringham called it. He's lost all respect for Rashford, and he said it's a team, a team he supported, come up through the ranks, and then plays for him. And he goes, and look at the state. Look what he's doing now. He said it don't help him, and it don't help his career further on down the line. He said you're interviewing me now, and he said the only words that I can say, I've got no respect for him. And honestly, Teddy Sheringham come out and said that in his interview.
I think the biggest problem with that is with most of these players now, as we know, they're on big wages, and because of that, a lot of them think they can walk on water and are literally untouchable. So things, when you look at players, when you think Rashford, was he 325? I remember we were saying Fuzz. He gets an OBE, whatever it was, does a thing with the school kids, blah blah blah. And as far as he's concerned, football is it's a second career for me. I can live off of this part. And you see it with all players. And, we've mentioned Arsenal many a times, coming off that coach, don't even look at the fans. They're the people that's paying hard-earned money to watch these players. And they came off as if, like I say, I'm doing my job. What I don't care, you over there. We saw that with that 12-year-old girl, how they looked after her. But that's not just Arsenal. I mean, I think that's generally across the board. Especially in the Premier League, the money some of these players are getting paid, they're just self-centered and they don't give a monkeys. But I agree with Fuzz. I mean, Rashford does need to move on. His time's done.
Yeah.
His time's done.
So I think if Villa would most probably go in for him, like obviously he's known there, they'll have first call on him whether they want him or.
I think so, mate. I do believe so. Yeah. Colin saying, Tony, mate, I think it won't be long for us before the fans will be demanding Potter out. Very, very disappointing last night game. It was disappointing, mate. But I think I think the difference between with us and being a West Ham fan and that, I do believe in chances. Anthony's already said it himself, and we've just got to see. Let's see what this man can do. If he can't do it, then we've got to move on. But the owner's got to realise that as well. And we can't keep the fans keep crying out for it. Liverpool actually won the game 1-0, so that chance of you catching up on that is actually pulled away again.
Yeah,
That's say it would have been better if we won last night, mate. True. Inter's equalised, Brendan's saying. There were actually answers in our squad who Potter cares to find them. And this is the problem for me, Damien. There is something in that squad. It's actually picking the right balance. I mean, we've already said last night in the watch along, why we played Mavropanos yet again? The bloke's a liability. Absolute one liability. Palace equalised in the 92nd minute. And then when you look at Palace, I mean, look, they're fighting to keep hold of Glasner because I think it's who is it now? One of the teams are looking at him. I think it's a German team looking to get hold of him.
Yeah, I think is it Frankfurt?
Yeah, I think is it Frankfurt?
Frankfurt. I think it's Frankfurt. It could be. Yeah,
where Glasner came from. Yeah.
So when you look at it, because he had a bit of a mixed season there, hasn't he? There's no two ways about it. He found a bit of form midway in that, and he seems to be kind of doing it now. But to equalise back in the 92nd minute, you can understand why they want to keep hold of him.
Yeah.
If in doubt, always, and I mean always, go balls deep. I was saying.
Oh my God.
Brendan saying, fine advice, Howard. Yes. Damien saying, people need to accept that the answers in our squad are not pretty. Realistically, the answer to that midfield is a very more Suchik and Alvarez double pivot. Physicality over technicality. Because we definitely needed that last night because, not being funny, Wolves outmuscled us in the middle of the park.
Can we just acknowledge something else as well? Jose Mourinho went and pinched the nose that you went and did this to the Galatasaray manager, and their manager dropped to the floor and pretended he got shot in the face.
I mean, that's an interesting one saying that, Fuzz. I wonder if he's actually, how do both these, him and the Turkish club, where they're trying to sue each other, where that's going at the moment. That'd be interesting. Good evening, James Lamper, and evening, Jens. Just jumped on. Good to see you as well, James. Hope all's well. Down under. I'm suffering Potter's tinkering. Yeah, it'll come a point though. He plays some of those that we wanted. Very true. Very true. Evening, James. West Ham United therapy in session. Trusted, I'd rather we lose all the games and get the transfer window right. I think that's for most clubs, but we definitely want one of those. Troz, you're one of those bigger picture guys, aren't you? You can pack that malarkey in. I will suffer short-term pain. Potter targets have been wanked so far. Ferguson is overpriced donkey. The French kid that ended up at Bournemouth was overpriced and too lightweight. And the kid from Sunderland doesn't improve us. Get that. Long-term success. Budgie saying, Jez Moodry, please don't be disrespectful about HH, mate. She works hard and wouldn't appreciate that kind of comment. Thanks. Thank you, Budgie. So at least she's working enough. That's maybe the reason why we haven't seen her. We didn't have to get relegated at all. True. Not with our current owner, we probably wouldn't do. You're saying great win for Ipswich tonight, 2-1 at Bournemouth. That's what was needed. But as we said just a minute ago, don't get him out of the bottom, does it? We're like to have Premier League finances to bail out our stupidity. Big up everyone. Trip, good evening to yourself, mate. Hope it was all well. Thanks for that.
No, but it is, dude, Tony. Wherever you finish at the end of the season, obviously you survive. We get that. But that corresponds into next season. So does that mean, in all fairness, West Ham will only have around about maybe between 60 to 80 million to spend next year?
There was talks about that, but there was a point that it said also Villa 3-0. Because at the time when he found a little bit of a spell, the board were kind of happy with what they've seen in Potter, so they may give him additional funds. So who
right.
knows? But I think the biggest problem we've got at the moment, there's this kind of what's going to happen with Kretinsky. Is Sullivan willing to sell up for next season? Is Vanessa Gold going to keep her shares? Is she going to sell them on? There's all these things going on.
No, so, you got Aaron as well, ain't you?
And of course, there's Brady as well.
Yeah.
Herbie Farm, we have to get worse to get better. We're on season 3 of crap performances now. What time scale are we talking here? Yeah, there comes a point, I suppose. And they're saying, "Oh, Budgie, yeah, Phil's freeing up with the Brighton, thank you, usual. Budgie, evening, geezer. Hope you're being good. He's not too good at the moment, he's saying. Told them only watch YouTube. They turn up at my door. The old TV licensing people. Hey, chaps, I'm not great, to be honest. Got a bug, but I'm alive. Always a bonus. Absolutely. Is it flu? Bit of a current ban always helps.
No, it's West Ham. You give him the shits. But sort of be there won't be no Sunday night takeaway this weekend. You'll have it.
Dad, I hope you get better budgie for next Wednesday, mate. And George says, "Yeah, West Ham is bad for your immune system. It is at the moment." Yeah. James Lampard saying, "Tony, what do you think about this? Let Potter access the squad for the rest of the season, so as he knows what to acquire the players he wants next season." Well, I suppose it's obviously him and what's his name, Carney, or it was the fellow he's got from Chelsea. If they can pick the right type of players, if the chairman's going to give them the money, and more importantly, can they attract the players to come and join the club? Because that's going to be the telling point. It's all trying to bring the players he wants in, but if he can't talk the talk, they're not going to come.
Yeah.
Budgie saying, "Thanks, chaps. It's not flu, but my stomach just seems to purge at regular intervals." Yeah, be careful, Budgie. It'll come out of both ends at some point. Been there. Know that one.
Just don't sneeze, Budge.
Damien, I'll agree on that. There's a bit where I said last night on the show, the camera panned on Potter and Ilson. You see him looking over the pitch and that, and you can see his mind thinking, and he suddenly went. So he knew it's like he's admitted to himself, "I've ballsed up here." Bad old goal. Touch of the old bomb on Bay Blitz, eh? Food poisoning by the sounds of it, the usual saying, although in your case it could well be alcoholic poisoning.
Oh my God, usual.
Yes, it is indeed, Troj. Norovirus is high around at the moment. There is that too. Very true. Bird flu, Budgie. Damien saying that's where you are, though, Fuzz. The pick of the litter, do not want to come to Man United anymore. It's more about profiling now. That's the in word, isn't it? Profiling.
Yeah, I've noticed so much soon. Budgie's getting it tonight. He's normally fuzzy. Everybody gets fuzz. You've got the night off, mate. You've really got the
Joe said the last team that got promoted and stayed up was Forest. Look at them now. And Bishopsona. And that's the same with Brentford, isn't it? Same thing. Brentford is another success story. Damon saying, I heard Sayed TV mentioning certain players he wanted when Amarin first came, and I was thinking, you're too obsessed with names. Bring back Bilic. That's because Forest and Bournemouth signed the players I want us to get. Yeah. That was the biggest problem as well, wasn't it? I'd rather have Bobby Moorzone on the pitch than Frank Spencer-Arnos. Damien's also saying, I feel like Amarin is slowly getting there. Success may look strange next season for Man United. Top 10 finish and shit players contract expiring. Get rid. And also he says, going back to teams coming up in the Premier League, it would be difficult finding a playing style that is progressive enough to get you promoted, then resolute enough to keep you up, if that makes sense. Well, this is the thing. I mean, like, Leeds, Sheffield United, they're the main two, aren't they, really? But even still, you can, I mean, as Anthony knows, we've got Mr. Tom on the Stoop channel, and even he can admit that there is cracks in Leeds, aren't there, as well?
Yeah, he was fuming because he had, I think it was over the weekend, was it Saturday or something like? No, yeah, it may have been Saturday or something. He drew 2-2 with Swansea, and Swansea scored the goal right at the end. And I they were doing the scores thing on Saturday. I was watching their show on Saturday, and Leeds went 2-1 up, and then for a wind up, you know what I'm like, son, and I put, oh shit, no, it's 2-2 now. Well, it wasn't. Leeds was still winning 2-1, and obviously with me putting that, I fucking jinxed it, didn't I? It finished 2-2. I felt a bit bad. I even had to send Mr. Tom a message and say of apology. Just say sorry about that, sort of thing. But he was fine with it, and that sort of thing. He knows what I'm like. Everybody knows what I'm like on YouTube. I come on here and I have a joke and I have a laugh and don't mean no harm or anything. But
But no, it's a fair comment from Damon. Though I do agree on that. You've got to kind of prove your point. I mean, like I said, we thought Ipswich might be in the team, but unfortunately, they haven't got it over the line, even though they won today. James also saying, can we shut the gate on the Prem now that Liverpool won today? Yeah. Rashford, another sulker. We've got a few of those. Oh, have we? That's for sure. We have a lack of leaders in important positions. Neither the manager or captain are natural leaders. Thank you, usual. Yes, RP Leipzig. That's it. That's what's
RP Leipzig. Yeah.
That's the one. Glasner.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
I see.
They've got Sesko up front, haven't they? I think.
Yeah.
That's who. Well, apparently that's who we were after.
That's right. Oh, look, they sacked the manager this week. That's the reason why they want to cut hold of Glasner then. Both the winners after the game were pathetic, sorry to say. Yeah, weren't great. I need a Nolan or Pierce type, even if only on the staff. Yeah, don't want to kick the arse of players. Get the best out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie G in the fans crowd there. Always want to keep Nolan. Yeah, would be able to level Nolan out. Apparently, they've already approached these people. Nice. Yeti's Cave, big up to you guys. Liverpool, keep marching on. Are you okay, Fuzz, bro?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And there's
He's going to start rubbing it in now, isn't he?
If you're not already done it, go over to the Yeti's Cave and obviously give him a sub as well. Same as obviously with Hot Fuzz. Give him the love as well.
Definitely.
Already done it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just remember, folks, keep it real, keep it acne.
Dyson with death there. Michael Chelsea should have kept Lobby. Let's be honest, guys. No, not at all. Well, I hope you're good, man. They will say hello to him as well. Yeah, absolutely usual. Yeah, what a season. You must be buzzing. Buzzing enough to give himself a little chestnut on his bloody forehead. Poor sod. Holly from the West Ham Network is nice, isn't she, guys? Easy there, Michael. Easy.
Michael, bloody hell. Jesus.
Matt saying, yeah, she is, Michael. Yeah. Hi. Mark, a nice chirpy so high. You okay, Fuzzy? Bro, bit quiet, he's saying.
He just know he's going to come.
Because of the game yesterday.
Random questions about last week's game, isn't it? It's going to be, yeah.
Next game, Tony, what do you think, mate? Well, it can only improve from what we saw last night, but are we going to see it? That's going to be the question.
Well, bear in mind, West Ham shit. So, he's going to be...
Back to normality.
Back to normality. What do you do, Fuzz? You give it that, don't you, Fuzz? What do you say? Come on, you what?
Come on, you twats.
That's a new one that's going into it, yes. Oh, man. Because I'm trying to think myself again who it was. Oh, yeah, bloody Bournemouth, innit? Then we've got Liverpool, then Southampton. Bournemouth, well, I can't see us getting much out of that Bournemouth game. That's for sure. And that's at home as well.
Yeah. Weren't they in the... They did Bournemouth. So, yeah, they had Man City, didn't they, in the FA Cup on the weekend? And then, obviously, a few days later, they're playing tonight and they've lost. But I tell you what, I'm quite surprised with sorry, Fuzz, I'm going to say it, with Forest. Obviously, they beaten Brighton on the penalties in the FA Cup, goes to the semi-finals, and then they got a tough game against Man United. I think, if I remember correctly, I think in the predictions, I think I had that game down as a draw. Man United, Man United in Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I think both me and Yeti went with draws in our predictions. Weren't expecting much of a expansive game, but that's literally what Nottingham Forest just you could see the sort of game plan they were going to go with from a mile away, but our players just walked straight into it.
Yeah. I think it's showed on the pitch as well with Forest. It's like I mean, he sees it as well, and I've said it a few times, but you could tell that with that Forest, when they scored and when they took that deep, I think they defended one off the line towards the end of the game, didn't they?
Yep.
It was just with Forest, it was just grit and determination. Do you know what I mean? And it was just enough that that goal, that was just enough, sort of thing. So.
I think what you're seeing at Forest is a rare quality, and I mentioned in Yeti's chat after I finished the watch along, is the fact of these players. You can see they actually totally respect what Nuno says, and you see that by the they perform on the pitch. What he does, it reflects on there. That's a for this season, it's quite a rare quality when you look at something like that.
It is. You can see next season, Tom. I guarantee you, next season when Forest do buy players in the transfer window, I guarantee you their dearest player would be something like 40 million, if that. And then you feel like, fucking hell, what a player that is. And then that if they are going to sell that player to anybody, is obviously it's just going to double in value. Do you know what I mean? So, but. That's the way they do business. I mean, you look at that. You had that Forest team up with how much they've cost. I bet you it's not that lot, but you could just see the team spirit and the chemistry is just there.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think back. So it's slightly, this is slightly different when you look at what Ranieri did with Leicester, because what he did, from the way I saw it, Ranieri dealt with all the press and all the flack and all that kind of stuff. And he just let players be players. Don't interfere with the press. Don't do this and the other. Just do what you're doing out on the pitch. That'll get you through it. And it clearly did.
Yeah.
Frog saying Bournemouth's new training facility makes our Hornchurch training ground look like a wacky warehouse.
Well, they didn't own it, like you said. They didn't own their stadium, Bournemouth.
No.
And they're trying to get they got the money there to raise up a 25,000 capacity stadium. That's what we're going to go with. And then you look at it with the capacity of stadiums, what we've all got. What it makes you think like what chances, but it's a stadium that they can sort of add on. You know what I mean? They can have bits here, bits there, which obviously increase the capacity. Yeah. But I can see them really doing well. I call them the 3Bs. You've got to put Brighton, Bournemouth, and Brentford. I mean, you look at them. I mean, they can always pull a result out of the bag, but the best one so far this season is Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And he was on the verge of being sacked, that manager, last season. Mm-hmm. Took him a while to get used to the tactics, Tim, with the new players was coming in. Look, I mean, it could be a chance for Potter. Do you know what I mean?
We'll see.
Could be a chance for actually. Never mind, because it's Man United. And we're run by.
No, it's not that. I would like to see them do great. I like to see Man United challenge, at least get in the top 10 for next season. Maybe finishing the Europa League conference, top 7. That'd be an achievement in itself.
Finishing the top flight of the, finishing the Premier League would be a great.
This is true. Yeah. Good evening, Ryan. Good evening, Les. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Must be happy with the result yesterday. Your boys played well. They're up for more than what West Ham were, and fair play to you. But of course, it is your old boy Kilman. You had to deflect off of him to go to get the winner. So there you go. Michael Chelsea, I did say Jellyfish Potter is a wrong one. You did indeed, Michael. You stood by that.
It makes you think why Wolves sold Kilman. I know it was good, like offer. You put a good offer for him, but it makes you feel like they didn't really hesitate to keep him. And say, look, you have a.
I mean, we've had quite a few people in the chat when we do the watch-alongs and obviously when they do the West Ham shows, have alluded to when you look at Kilman, the biggest problem there is he seems lost if he's not playing with, like, for instance, with Tadibo. When Tadibo's there, there's more of a cohesion with these two. Put him with Mavropanos and that, and he goes wayward. He kind of disappears.
Yeah, that's why we got rid of him, Tom.
Yeah, probably did. Ryan saying Bournemouth had to go and lose the whip switch for fuck's sake. Thought yesterday's win was at us 100% safe. Yeah, it's very tenterhook still in, isn't it? It is still very tenterhooks there. Might be careful with those females, mate. If it wasn't for the wobbly bits, I'd have nothing to do with them.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Usual. Cheers, mate. We needed it badly, saying there. Michael Chelsea, he's big up. He's still landing it, mate. Of course he is, definitely. Anthony, according to what I've heard, Crystal Palace has offered to give you holding back for the Real Madrid game.
Could be true.
Someone to replace Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel and Timber, innit? They both kind of went off with knocks, but Gabriel looks more serious.
Gabriel looks more serious. It does look like a hamstring injury, like the rest of our players, and is a possibility. He's not 100% certain, but it's a possibility he could miss the remainder of this season. And against Real Madrid, I'm not being funny, Tim. Gabriel, for me, he's been our best defender this season. He's been better than Saliba, in my opinion.
Let me just drop down to this one.
Biggest goal threat too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Good evening. Good night, Colin. Good night, Tony, Fuzzy, and Anthony, you wonderful gentlemen. Great show, and God bless you three. I'll try to be early next time. Take care. Take care of yourself, Colin. Rest up well, especially after that 3-hour stint, that's for sure. But rest up, my good friend. We're all together and they fight for each other. Mind you, I thought the equaliser was coming. Big up Murillo, line clearance. Yeah, what a beast that man is.
Yeah.
That's a great signing for him.
Yeah.
Murillo, Milenkovic has come good this season.
Him as well, yeah, definitely.
Good partnership there.
Fuzzy comfortably numb.
But unfortunately not numb enough to realise that we've exited international football and we're back to Stinkfest.
Yeah, Fuzz is looking forward to the next international, aren't you, Fuzz?
Yeah, I'll put it in my calendar.
Night, Colin, mate. They're all saying good night to Colin, which is always good. Love seeing that. You just say, yeah, Colin, night, mate. You must be knackered. Back on the nest, Colin. Back on the nest, yeah. Colin said, good night to all you wonderful people in the chat. Take care and God bless you. Always a pleasure being with you. And it's always a pleasure you being with us as well, Colin. Don't forget that. That Colin in and out like Fiddler's elbow.
Oh my God, Fiddler's elbow. Oh my God. Oh shit. Up and down like Fiddler's elbow.
What about Timber? Is he out, or is that just a kind of precautionary knock?
I think it is just a knock with Timber. So it was that's some good. Don't get me wrong, you don't like your players getting knocked, but obviously it comes with the game. But I was more worried of when Saka scored our winning goal. I was more worried about bringing him on. Okay, fine. He didn't get injured in this game, but if he's going to feature from now up to the end of the season, plus champion to 2 games in the Champions League as well, what stops him getting another knock?
Exactly,
do you know what I mean? From now to the end of the season.
Not being funny, you got to think it's not this game. Last night's game. You got to think in 2 days' time. That's when you see how he'll feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Good night, Colin, as well. Anthony, why the hell did the team not put the ball out when they made it worse? Yeah, this is true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because I was watching some of the Yetis watch along as well of the and that was the only game that I could watch last night was the Man United and Forest game. That was it because it was on live on TNT.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you know, I watched that one. So you know, I mean, it was a bad game. You know, obviously, but there was times where you thought, like Yeti said it, that Man United was going to equalise. And as a neutral fan, like not a fan, you know, even I was jumping off the seat thinking, "Oh God, blimey, they're going to score it or whatever." But it's like what I said, Nottingham Forest just did enough, and to me, it just came down to pure great determination.
Yeah, hold on to that lead, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're saying Derby's climbing out of the relegation, bottom three now replaced by Cardiff. See, that's Cardiff. What's his name? Tan, wasn't it? The owner, Tan. Yeah, you can see that coming. Everton will kick Saka. Just give him Tarkovsky here, do a good job. You like Spelunge there. Well, between them, just seeing early on Pickford as well. Bet them two would be taking chances. Who will be? Matt saying Arsenal players dropping like the big red wood.
Yeah.
Cardiff playing that bloody big ground, don't they? Yeah, because it's interesting when they built the new stadium. It was literally the other end of the car park was the old stadium. That's how close they were to each other.
Yeah. So I think we'll play Cauliflower now, Calafiore. I think he might be. Well, actually, no, he's injured.
He's injured, isn't he?
He's injured as well, so it makes you think who's going to be playing in the centre back. So more than likely, it may probably be Kivior, with Saliba, and obviously Timber. Well, actually, no, he's got. So he's got. I don't know. Ben White, I think.
You know.
It makes you think, we're weak up front and we're getting weak in defence. So, do you know what I mean?
That is looking for the chest of drawers, trying to find that one little thing. Is he in here somewhere? Yeah, Arteta's got the same thing. Thank
God for Mourinho. That's all I can say.
Masterclass from him, yes.
Yeah.
It says need 2 points for Southampton to leave Derby with the team in the Prem Trophy. Sheep shaking bastards.
I knew he's about to see something like
that. Before we round off on that, we just want to say this, and I don't know if you saw the news earlier this morning. It was announced that Val Kilmer is no longer with us anymore. Yeah. 65, you know.
I mean, he fought throat cancer, but it was he passed it. Pneumonia, wasn't it, or something? I read that he was that got him. Yeah. But yeah, it's sad when you see all these film stars and they're gradually, you know, with all these illnesses coming up and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, it was a bit of sad news. So, you know,
because I was reading a bit. They were saying about obviously because they did Top Gun 2, and he literally begged and pleaded to be on that film. Which was quite ironic because he didn't want the part in the first place in the original.
Yeah, it was Tom Cruise that got him. He said no. He said what's going to be Top Gun Maverick without Iceman. So do you know what I mean? So Tom Cruise had a part to say, look, you know, you're in it, even if you're in the film for 5 minutes, like a cameo. He said you're going to be in it, and fair play, he stuck to his word and he was in it. But I think that, do you know when he was talking? It's sort of like in that film sort of thing. Apparently, he didn't do the talking; it was dubbed over. It was his Val Kilmer's son that was doing the talking, and he put it into in the film and say that it was Val doing the talking.
That's why he had that scarf around his neck as well, wasn't it? Because he was obviously holding up.
Yeah.
What you can see there and that. I'm going to come back to the usual comment a bit. Obviously, his comments. He's saying he looked bad in Top Gun Maverick. Rest in peace, Val, and prayers to Robin. Yeah, and I agree on this one as well. Yeah, best role was Jim Morrison in The Doors. Yeah, superb in that. Yeah, good at Heat as well. And yes, as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Doc Holliday played that really well.
Oh, I like that bit when he was how fast he with a gun, and he had this because he was a drinker in it, wasn't it? And he was spinning around the cup. He was giving it all this. And he's that on it.
Yeah. And true, Brennan, he was fine actor. Rest in peace to Val as well.
Yeah.
Before we go out, I mean, usual just put this in there, and if Ancelotti is found guilty of tax evasion in the prosecution, I wanted him banged up for 4 years and 9 months. Yeah.
What's up with people in Spain doing tax evasion?
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Because when you think about it, because you've seen our players go over there, because obviously it's tax free and all this kind of stuff, and then of course they forget that they've got dual nationalities. So any money they put into their accounts from their native countries and that, you're liable for tax. And it's one of those. But it goes back to what we said earlier. Players, managers, they earn mega bucks compared to what we earn. And as always.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I mean, if that's the case, and that, at least you won't be getting him as your manager then, Anthony. If that's the case, if you get
I know. Shame, really. I wouldn't mind him there for a few seasons. But how old's Ancelotti now? He's got to be about 65 at least, 63. I know he's in his 60s.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he had an hard life then, hasn't he? That's for sure. When you look at him.
Well, you look at it. I think he's number 2. At Everton in that was his son. And I think, and if I recall correctly, I don't think his son was an ex-footballer. I'm not too sure. People might prove me wrong in the chat, but as far as I know, I don't recall Carlo Ancelotti's son being a footballer. So, but they seem to do well. They obviously like what they say. I think communication's key, and obviously they get on well and they communicate together and they bring in the best players. And obviously, as you know, he's managing the best team.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just finishing off with the comments. Didn't Val Kilmer do Elvis? Well, not literally. Don't know. Did he do Elvis? I'm trying to think now. Awesome movie and great cast. Yeah.
Yeah. Kurt Russell was in that one as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Bet Lee Gunner was it. Budgie saying Val Kilmer was also the voice of Kit in Knight Rider 2008, 2009.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would never knew that as well. Big up, Budgie. I didn't know that. Top show that was. Yes. Knight Industries, Michael Knight.
Yeah. The original was better with the Hoff.
Oh yeah, because they did the new one, didn't they? Yeah, it was.
They did that. That was the one who Val Kilmer did in the new one, like Budgie stated it there. And you got the Hoff. I'm just waiting for the new one to come out now because with Kit they're doing a remake. So you've got the Hoff, but this one is called the Fuzz. So I don't know when, because you had a picture of Fuzzy with Michael. Was it called? What was it? What was the name of it, Fuzz? It was David Hasselhoff's body with your head tonks on it. What was it called? Hoff Fuzz?
Hoffmeister.
I don't know.
Hoffmeister or something like that?
Yeah, you did, honestly. I can remember seeing it in the comments in the chat.
We'll have to look back at that. Even there.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that. Yeah, didn't know that, Budgie. Brendan's saying, thanks for this evening, GBU. Thanks, chat as not. Brendan, thank you very much for hanging with us. We are literally going to be wrapping up ourselves as well. So a pleasure you've been with us as always. Okay, so Kurt Russell, brain fart. No worries for the got to have the Hoff. Yeah, Hoff all day long. I mean, plus the fact if you look at it, it was a Mustang Shelby anyway, so not even the same bloody car.
No.
He's also the voice of the fighter jet in the cartoon planes also. Oh, Street Hawk. Remember that one? Yes, Street
Hawk. Oh, that was brilliant on the bike. And Airwolf, the helicopter, Knight Rider, 18, the Fall Guy, Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, watched it all. Somebody said to me, chips. I said, well, yeah, I hope that comes with fucking ketchup. But I didn't realise they were on about the programme. So.
Daz is also saying, Night, Tony, Fuzz and Anthony, everyone in the chat, top show. Thank you much. Daz, great being with us as always, yeah. Blue Thunder, Roy Schneider, yeah. Never was the same as Airwolf, though. Airwolf beat that. And Airwolf. Because, I mean, have you seen, what's his name? What's it? Oh, the guy who played
Well, in Airwolves.
Yeah, what's his name?
Michael. Oh,
It's double barreled name, isn't it?
It's a triple barrel name.
Van something. What is it?
Michael Van. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he's just. I don't know. Tom, I might be wrong on this, but did he pass away?
I think is he gone there? Because he had a bad accident as well. I think he might have lost
had a bad accident, but if I recall correctly, I think he was heavily into like heroin and stuff like that. I think he went down the wrong route, didn't he?
Mm. Oh, bloody hell. Manimal, remember that one?
Oh, yeah, that
Jesus
guy.
Christ.
Manimal, he turns into all these bloody animals in that, doesn't he? That guy that did Manimal, I think he was a doctor in the series Casualty years ago.
Yeah, I think he was actually. Yeah.
And he was in Jaws 3.
Yes.
The film Jaws. He was in the third one with Dennis Quaid.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, Jaws 3, that was a bit, wasn't exactly the greatest one.
That was the 3D one, wasn't it? They had the 3D.
Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah. Put them on your face in there. Thank you, Michael. Great show as always. Thank you. Night there. I was saying, gentlemen, great show. Much love, chat. Much love to yourself as well, Howard. Thanks for being with us. Ernest Borgnine, that was his partner. Famous old actor he was. TJ Hooker, Heather Lockyer, Omar Days. Be right back.
Heather Lockyer, yeah.
James is also saying, great show as always, guys. Thanks, James, for being with us. Budgie, the same thing. Night all back to normal next week, and I hope you're fit enough for tomorrow, Tom. If not, Budge, don't worry about it. The main thing is rest up, be well. That's the thing. Thank you, Yeti. Yeah, Michael Vincent. That's it.
Michael. I knew it was Michael. Yeah.
As always, Yeti. Thanks for the brilliant on that one. Thank you, Budgie. Look after yourself as well, Budgie. Yes, Fuzz will die hard. Cooked by the fuzz, I was still on a buzz. Absolutely, Frog. And on that note, thanks for hanging around with us. And that is just to come over the 2-hour mark. We are basically done for the evening. And that. Thanks for being with us. And
for the greater good. Have we got anything else coming up? You're going to say? Have we got coming up? Or?
We may have. I mean, obviously, I'm going to find out with Budgie if he's okay for tomorrow. If not, like I said, I would rather have him rest up and fight and fit than kind of running, disappearing off the screen every 5 minutes. I know that feeling myself because when I did it not that long ago, not great, not good fun.
Yeah. Owen, Tom can actually explain it. I think is it 2 or 2.5 weeks' time we got the Easter quiz?
Yes. I'll put a post in the community chat with good old Will with his face on there, our quiz master. I think he's actually got the question bank already. He's on paternity leave at the moment, but he's already he made sure he had it done before the second one.
Yeah. Have you got anything, Fuzz? You got anything coming up on your channel? I'm going to finish Tom's job. Have you got anything coming up on your channel, Fuzz?
Thank you.
Well, I'll probably do something at some point tomorrow with just talking about, of course, the game last night, as well as a few other bits with Manchester United. God, just a draining subject talking about this club at the moment. It's all just doom and gloom. It's all just doom and gloom. There's nothing really that's like positive. I mean, I'll have to see what positives there are, if there are any, and see what everybody else is talking about, and put my points together. That's pretty much it. Then I'm going to a farm on Saturday for my little nephew's 3rd birthday celebration. So he's got his birthday coming up. So
when is it? His birthday Saturday, is it?
No, not Saturday, but I think it's on Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. But yeah.
The 7th.
Happy birthday, little Fuzzy's nephew.
Yeah.
If he's watching. Saying like and subscribe to Taunton Fuzzy and give Anthony money to buy a new combine after.
Oh, definitely. I'll see if I can get you a discount for that farm, Fuzz. You're going to.
Frog say, not all 5-0 Saturday, my ass. He's saying, hang in there, Fuzz, not literally. And Fog saying, I was banking on Fuzzy for some positivity.
When I'm gesturing this on screen, it's not happy.
Oh, look at that voice there. He's been working out in the gym, hasn't he?
You can see
The man's an animal, Tom. The man's an animal. Yeah.
If I do that, mate, you'll just see it kind of drop down this side. It won't be
Oh,
the
you
top
got the
end.
bingo wing, have you?
That's
Yeah,
the one, yeah. That's it.
Like one of them squirrels that can fly. It's just a flabby bit there.
Flabby bit, yeah. I've just stapled it to the side of my body of that, so I can fly off the buildings and that, much more easier.
Is that like Homer Simpson, where he gets those hair clips or clamps and just clamps all the skin around the back? It's like, look at me, super thin.
But on that note, we're going to sign off. No outro this tonight. We're going to keep it nice and easy and quick.
Oh, have I got anything coming up? I may have had something coming up. You never know.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you let the missus know that, don't let us know that, Mark. No,
no. It's not that. God,
Mr. No Channel.
Yeah.
I am actually on a show tomorrow. I got challenged and I accept the challenge. And it's a quiz, and it's a quiz on. It's all to do with movies and films. And the person that's challenged me, in all fairness, we've said his name 3 or 4 times starting the show, is Mr. Tom himself. And the show, and check this out, and yes, you are going to hear this, right? It's called Slags in the Dark. That's the name of the show. So I don't know if there's going to be loads of slags running around in the dark or something like. I think no. I mean, whatever. But yeah. So I'm challenging in on the quiz. That's for tomorrow, and then I got and then Friday day off because it's my birthday on Friday. So
yes.
Yeah. So that's. Oh, cheers, Tom. I'm 30. I'm 40. 40. I am on Friday. Right. Plus
I
a
heard
bit.
Somewhere that you were 65.
Bollocks. I'll tell you the truth. I'm 46 on Friday.
46.
46 on Friday.
Yeah. He's asking movie and films. A bit of all sorts. The general lodge in there, some football one as well. He does some various ones there. He'll be joining them as anonymous at this rate. Yeah. Was that your idea? And Pepsi saying happy 60th to you, Anthony.
Oh, cheers, Pepsi. Fuck you. I've gone to coke now. Not cocaine, but coke. You the drink. Yeah. So
I'm turning to coke now.
He's saying 40. You had a long paper round then, didn't you?
Oh, I definitely did. Yeah. I couldn't be asked to post them half the time. Especially in the winter, I used to go into the woods just like fucking light a fire and just keep warm by it.
Keep yourself warm.
Yeah,
Trip summed it up though. Look, you says you look no older than 64. So that's not bad, is it? That's quite nice.
Cheers to it.
And on that note, folks, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and obviously have a good weekend as well. And we will see you shortly. Take care, and we'll catch you up. Bye bye.